You're listening to the Gettin Salty Experience podcast.
Hello! Hank Malay, fresh off his European tour, bro. He just got back from Europe, the guy.
Come on.
He was on
Big
a
summer
European
blowout.
cruise. Where's that from?
Ooh, big summer blowout.
Big summer blowout.
Welcome back to the Getting Salty Experience podcast. We're the only one that brings the Firehouse kitchen table to you guys from all over the country, all over the world, I'm going to say. I'd like to introduce my new co-host. His name is Louis Refrano.
Hey, how are you? Good to be here. Good to be here.
Look at him.
We're glad to have you on the show, sir.
Glad to have you.
Clean shaven, freshly shorn Louis Refrano. Look at him. Like a
Fresh
baby.
as a daisy.
Looks like a young buck without the mustache and the beard.
Big summer blowout.
See, speaking of bucks, did you get anything while you were in the,
I didn't get anything in Iowa, no.
Dang, that sucks.
I got 2 this year, though. What do you mean? I can't,
Where'd you get 2?
I got 1 in New York with the bow and 1 in New York with the gun.
Oh,
I got a 9-pointer, 8-pointer. I don't like to talk about it. I don't like to talk about it. I got hot dogs coming for you, though.
He's a humble guy, he said. He don't like
love the hot dogs. Love them. Venison hot dogs. My kids go crazy. Those little Asians go crazy for the venison hot dogs, bro.
Deer tenderloin is like chef's
he sent me a couple of those too.
All right, you got it.
Anybody that shares that is a good friend. If you share a tenderloin, you're a good friend.
See, Tank him snows. Big summer blowout.
Ooh, big summer blowout.
What was that from?
Kev doesn't have daughters. He don't know.
Oh, that's why. Now
I have a daughter. You nitwit.
Well,
but
little daughters.
She was older by then.
Yeah.
That was Frozen, right? Was that Frozen?
I think so. Yeah.
One of those movies.
Oh, I see.
He was from Sweden. You said there was a kid in the
chat from
Sweden.
Oh, there was somebody in the chat from Sweden.
Oh, in Frozen, that guy was from Sweden. Big summer blowout.
Oh, I see.
Huh. Michael Freeman getting in Sweden. He was here early too, like real early. Hopefully he's still here.
We got the usuals of the chat.
What's going on here? What are you guys doing? You holding down the house here? What's happening?
We're holding down the fort till you got back. Thank God you came back. The shit was falling apart, man. I don't know
what was happening. Who'd you have in here? Big Ray? How was the 270 show?
Very funny.
270. I mean,
270, the second busiest squad in Queens. They were killing it. They were killing it. We had
that had to be hilarious.
Department Hodgins while you were away. You know, we had all the big weeks. But this New Year's is lining up to be a blockbuster. Blockbuster, I tell you.
We ain't going into the new year with too shabby either. By the way, you know what I mean.
Not. We got some good guys. Yep. Our guest tonight, man. I got nothing but good things about this guy, bro.
Steers and queers, right, bro?
From Texas. I put on my back Texas shirt tonight. Look at this. Yep.
I don't see no horns on you, boy.
Oh, no.
Come on.
Say, right, bro? Yeehaw! Stick it in your grandma.
I'm glad I could get some help in here.
Happy. Woo!
Joe Bizell.
I'm glad somebody can be here to help take that with me, Come on.
Yeah. Oh,
Tank was a little like this all week, though.
What?
Boing!
Oh, I mentioned the guy. I mentioned
Listen.
He lost his shit. I think he wet his pants right there, bro. I said,
no
Mo
shame.
Davis on Monday. What? Mo Davis?
He's a real deal. Boing!
Yeah.
Hey, no shame in my game, bro.
Oh, shit.
None. 0. You will not hear me apologize.
By the way, you didn't know this, but he's coming up. You know this. He's coming to stay with me, him and the old lady, which I love. Kids love him. Call him Uncle Tank. So we're going out to dinner, and he says, well, you got to invite, right? Oh, no, I didn't know who we got to invite. Well, you got to invite Frank. I'm like, Frank who? Frank Footer? Who we got to invite? Frank. His buddy Lee.
Yeah.
Hey, listen
now, right? It's like,
oh my God, please.
Come on.
Might as well invite Ed too.
Yeah, Peter. Ed who?
Kill Duff. Yeah, me and Ed.
You and Ed are tight, bro.
All of a sudden now it's Frank. It's not even the chief anymore. I mean, what's going on over here?
I'm gonna call up Johnny Hodgins and say, hey, you want to come out to dinner, Johnny? Bring the old lady.
All he can say is no, bro. Might as well.
Yeah. All right. Oh. Good stuff. All right. So Roof's back. I'm happy. Roof's back. Everything feels like it's flowing now. It's good.
It's
right.
We got a little flow going. We got to play commercials first. I didn't even talk to you about it in the pre-show. You know what we're playing tonight, right, bro? We got the Armor Tough and we got the Firestore.
Let's go. We got you right here.
Do it, bro.
Here's a message from our friends at Armor Tough.
Armor Tough interlocking floor tiles are the best choice to replace new or aging, stained, or cracked concrete or epoxy floors. Here's why. Armor Tough tiles come with a lifetime warranty and are usually installed in 1 or 2 days, depending on the size of your station, with virtually no disruption in daily operation. Armor Tough interlocking tiles are guaranteed from chipping, cracking, peeling, breaking, or staining. Once installed, the tiles are non-skid and non-slip and meet the ADA standards for the friction coefficient. The tiles are stain resistant and impervious to any chemicals or volatiles that are used in the fire service. Once installed, your floor will be easy to clean with just soap and water. Install an Armor Tough tile floor in your apparatus bays, offices, training rooms, workshops, exercise rooms, kitchens, banquet halls, or any other room in your station. Call Vince today for a no-obligation quote at 908-917-7697. Why install a breakable epoxy floor that will need replacing in 5 to 10 years when you could have a floor that will last a lifetime? Drop a halogen on an Armor Tough floor and you won't see any damage. Don't try this with concrete or epoxy. Join the hundreds of career and volunteer fire departments nationwide who have chosen an Armor Tough interlocking tile floor. Armor Tough interlocking tiles are half the price of epoxy and will last a lifetime without issue. Again, call Vince today for a no-obligation quote at 908-917-7697.
I wish my underwear was stain resistant. I didn't know they could do that in floors. I'm hoping they can do it in underwears, you know.
Coefficient.
We know what that is. Yeah. Yep.
All right, here we go.
All right, Tank. Let's go into our next one.
Friends of
Get
the
out of the
Fire
way so we can bring in Mr. Mo. Mr. Maurice.
The Firestore, equipping protectors with passion. Every decision we make as a company is about you, our customer. We wouldn't be where we are today without you, and we don't take that lightly. The Firestore started by simply seeing and fulfilling a need in the fire service. It's how we operated then, and it's how we operate today. No matter how much we grow, we will always staff active or retired firefighters, police officers, EMTs, and paramedics. With over 1,000 years of combined public safety experience, we know our products and our customers, and will never compromise on quality because your safety matters. We understand that having the right gear can mean the difference between life and death. Our goal is to get you the gear you need when you need it at prices you can afford. Visit us at thefirestore.com for everything but the truck and shop our family of brands including Streamlight, MSA, Lion, Fleer, and more.
Everything but the truck. James Catron. Yes, me and Ruffy are going to FDIC this year. That's all you need to know. Yep. Right. You know, you want to do our commercial now, bro? You want to do the old school gift of the day while we're doing it?
Yeah, sure.
Old school gift of the day, bro, because Ruffy loves it. We got to push it out. Do it. Do it, Tank.
You want me to show the pictures first? Or
yes, tonight's old school gift of the day. We had this on a couple of weeks ago, but look at this poker chip set. But look, cards drawn by Paul Hashhagen. Excellent. Getting salty poker chips. Can you ask for more? And all going what? Show it, Tank. In its own little case. Look at that.
Look at
Not only that, flip
Just
it
look
down.
at it.
Yes, the Getting Salty logo, and it can be personalized with your name or your company number, or your company name, or your fire department name, whatever you want. So get online to Getting Salty apparel.
Salty oven mitts.
And
I'll give him any idea.
Let's ask Procaccini, what am I drinking tonight, bro? Come on. I invited Procaccini too, hoping his old lady can make it when Tank comes down.
Right. We can take an old lady's pick.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the chief in here.
Let's get him in here. Ruff, do your thing, bro. Get him in.
All right, coming to the stage, all the way from Houston,
Mo
Davis.
Mo Davis.
Hey, man. Thank you, guys.
What's up, Chief? How are you?
Hey, man. Thank you, guys. How are y'all doing?
We're doing well, man. You talk about fire, Ruff, and this guy's face just it lights up. It's like he just can't. It's like he's 6 years old It's December 25th. He came downstairs at 4 a.m. and he
Unwrapped.
and his face just beamed. It lights up. That's what the fire service needs.
Yeah.
Right here.
And then you're looking at a guy that loves this job better than anything. Every day I want to go to work. Every day.
You know what? But before you go to work, can we get patriotic? Let's do
Yes.
it.
Which one you want?
I don't care. Which one?
All
You
right,
got?
here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, man. You know what? I didn't know you had Italians out there, bro. Steve Sanguidis says Mo's the best. I don't know who Stevie Sanguidis is, but he says you're the best.
Hey, man, can I say something before we start?
You can say
That flag,
you want before we start, bro.
we've got to thank those guys that fought for us. Every military person throughout the world gave us the opportunity to take just a second to say the greatest pledge ever. So I hope people never forget those guys.
Amen, brother.
That's why we remind them every week.
That's why we beat him over the head with it, bro.
That's it.
Greatest country in the history of this world, man.
It is.
Allows us to do what we do. Allows you to have that big fat smile on your face, bro. Otherwise, you'd be sprechen die Deutsch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Sprechen die Deutsch.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
That was mine is Lieblingsfarbe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be speaking that or some kind of Jap shit. You know what I mean? Thank God for our brothers. Amen.
Good.
So let's go back. You know what? I watched so many. Tank sent me a whole bunch of stuff on Chief Davis, and I spent a good part of the day going through all his keynote speeches and all his YouTube stuff, and I am highly impressed by this guy. Not to mention that we got a shit ton of stuff, right, Roof, from FDNY guys saying this guy's the real deal. This guy is me. He fights for the guys. And what did you say before? You didn't say controversial. What did you say? What word did you say?
Yeah, I'm kind of, I'm out there I'm controversial to him.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Somebody's got to stand up for the guys.
Right.
And if we stand up for the guys, they stand up for the community we serve. And that's all we need.
Yeah. You know what else, too, caught my attention, bro, watching your keynote? Is not only do you stand up for the guys, you're standing up for the citizens of Houston, man.
100%.
Yeah.
That's why we exist. We were talking earlier. I always ask people to hold their breath in my classes. And I'd like for people to do that while we're talking, telling the story, to see how long you can hold your breath.
Let's do it now. Give your keynote speech, because I said to him, I said to Tank, too, I watched this keynote. Where was that keynote speech, Chief?
I think it's a revolutionary fire tactics, I think.
Okay, so I listened to that, and I told Tank, I listen to a lot of stuff all the time, but this thing actually grabbed me and said, holy shit.
Resonated with you?
Yeah, it really resonated with me. So give the speech like you gave at that thing. Go ahead.
So when I ask people to hold their breath, and
I'm not good at that.
Are we supposed to be holding our breath now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
No way.
All right, I'm out. Go ahead, Chief. Finish with that thought.
No way.
Yeah. And the importance of that is that's what little kids are going through in these burning buildings. And that's why we don't run around and spray water in windows. We don't run around and look for reasons not to go in. We go in burning buildings to get those kids out. And that's the sole purpose of our existence. And I don't know what happened to the fire service a few years ago. We got away from that. We got people telling us that we're supposed to be safe for us, not them. Then we had some people come along telling me to go spray water in windows to stop the fire progression and push it back on them, instead of going in like we were taught, and I'm sure you guys were too in fire school, first line between the fire and the victim. And then we find the victim, we pull them out. Everything's good then. So yeah, we're taking this back though. We're winning. We're changing it, and we're getting rid of the cowards. If there's one thing I hate, is a coward.
Tank, put the
coward
picture
that wears our uniform. And I don't care what your pack says.
Steve, I found this picture of you. This class is not intended for cowards. Right there. I freaking love that.
We've got to call them out.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah. When I was listening to you were saying, like, you asked everybody in the audience to hold their breath, and you said in that time, guys are getting the run. Well, actually, I'm sorry. The 911 call comes in, right? Then it says, "What's your address? What's the emergency?" You know, so it's not your address, it's next door. What's the address next door?
Right. All this bullshit.
All this bullshit, you know, and then the guys get on the rig, and then he's got to find out, do you know where you're going? And then he has to drive there. And the guys get off. Are they ready to go? Do they have their bunker gear? Are they strapped? Are they ready to go? All that while there's a kid sitting there holding their breath, bro. Right? And you can't waste no fucking time. You gotta be fucking ready to go every time you step on that fucking rig, bro.
Every day. When you walk in the back of that firehouse, you have got to be setting on go.
Yeah.
It's just always.
Yeah, because that how many people were, you said raise your hand if you're out of breath, and everybody was raising their hand, and you go, well, they haven't even got there yet, bro. You know what I mean? So now they got to go to work. Now they got to find the fire. They got to force entry. They got to find this victim. Yeah. And by that time, is that kid alive, or are we pulling that kid out dead?
Yeah.
You better have your fucking belt strapped. You better have your SCBA on, and you better get your ass in that fire as quickly as you can, bro. And I was like, holy shit.
That does kind of put it in plain context right there, right? Like, as you're running out of breath, when people, like when you're giving them the whole speech about that, like all of a sudden now it really makes sense, right? You could just say, yeah, you have no idea, but when you're holding your breath, I didn't even hold my breath 30 seconds, I don't think.
Yeah.
I didn't know we started. So that's
what's the most. I didn't know either. What's the most that you can't? Well, most people could. A
2
minute,
minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Yeah, people. By the time usually you get through the call taker taking the call, everyone in the class is raising their hands, and you're like, we just proved the point. And and that's why we drive fast. People don't understand why fire trucks drive fast, but that's why they put sirens, lights, and air horns on them, because those little kids are dying.
I like this guy. Cool.
I
tell you, boys, he gets it. He knows.
He gets
drive
it.
Fast, take chances.
Drive fast, take chances. Don't be a fucking coward.
We know what shirt we're sending in now.
That's what it's about, right?
Yeah, it is.
That's it right there in a nutshell.
When you fucking sign on to take that oath, your oath is to protect life and property. It's not to fucking play cards in a firehouse, which is great. It's not to fucking watch football. It's to protect life and property. Get your fucking ass on that rig. Be ready to go. I can't tell you how it used to annoy me. People, if I worked details somewhere when I was in the squad and we'd have a car fire, I'd be ready to go. I had my belt on. I had my fucking mask. I had my fucking hood on, ready to go. And they're looking at me like, look at this fucking guy. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to fucking go, bro. You should be ready every time you fucking step on that rig, because it's somebody's life that might be, in the balance.
That's right. They don't ask us a lot. They just ask us to be there when they need us.
Yeah.
And, people love us. People love firemen, and we can't let those people down.
No.
And we got the best equipment known to man. And we're supposed to go get people. And I hope I never change. I haven't changed in 28 years. I hope I never change.
Has the department changed, Chief, at all?
I'm sorry, brother?
Has your department changed, like tactics there?
They have a little bit. They took our reed hoods away from us. And we had a great captain who really got it. Clifford Reed was his name. And we were, Houston's always been very, very aggressive. And we were always getting burned. And so he got his mom to sew like an old welder's hood to protect his ears and throat. Well, then he developed this reed hood, got an NFPA NFPA accepted it. We wore it for years. And it's basically just like our bunker coat, but it's on our head. So he felt like if we were cool in our head, we could remain calm. And we had so much success on pulling people out of burning buildings. And we're lucky we carry the Sino kit, and we have a lot of success on saving people. So they took the reed hoods away from us a couple of years ago. And we had to relearn how to fight fire because we'd never done that before. So there's
Let me interrupt you for a second. What was the determination? Why did they take that away from you?
No one really knows. Yeah, that's an administrative decision. I hear rumor that they're actually studying bringing one back. So there's a few guys doing a lot of research on it. And when I see you guys, I'll have one with me, and it'll make more sense when you see it. But it's basically just like your coat. And the Houston Fire Department, they were always real good to us about our TPP ratings. They were always off the chart. From like our nipple line above, it looks like we have shoulder pads on. And so we were well protected in our upper body. And I think that led to a lot of good rescues, you know, and that was a controversial topic, man. We cut big old holes, you know, if we have a little puff of smoke coming out, man, that roof's coming off that house. And so, you know, we'd get a lift. And so we did a lot of things that, you know, was controversial, but we didn't know any better. And it always seemed to work for us. You know, when I come off the tower, man, I was so lucky. I was around good guys who were great firemen, and they always wanted you to be great. And they never, you know, withheld anything from us. They pushed us, and we had a great Chief Hooker I worked for forever. And he would let you go till you shouldn't be nowhere even on the block working. And he would let you be in a burning building, putting it out. But then if he always said back out, you knew you better back out. But that was the fire department I came up in that I grew to love.
For those guys who don't know, the tower is the academy, right? You said that in the pre-show. When you
yeah. So the tower means that's the academy. When we come off the tower, we call it that. We get out of fire school and we go to our assignment. Yeah. So coming off the tower, you want to go to a good place.
Right. Chief, most of the buildings there are what? One-story jobs, or?
So in my territory, we have anything from a small, 1,800 square foot house to a high rise. So in the area of town I work in, I think we speak 143 different languages, low income, a lot of apartments, but I would say 80% of our work is apartment fires. So we do a lot of apartment fires.
Roofer, you know what he told me in the pre-show? That Houston is the third largest in the country, third largest fire department in the country. I had no idea.
Yeah, I think it's New York, LA, then us, I think.
Right. How many members on the Houston Fire Department?
So we're a little bit less than 4,000. Yeah, that's the Reed Hood there.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Wow.
And
me and Louie will use that when we go ride with you on in March.
Man, you're welcome. I can't wait. It's it looks and it was, you never felt any heat. You'd never feel any heat. It was good. But yeah, and and we're lucky. We go to work a lot. We still make a lot of fires. And I know people don't like to hear that, but we should like making fires. We should want to. I mean, you ever heard of a car salesman so they don't want to sell a car? No, they go to work and want to sell a car. Well, I want to go to work to make a fire. Yeah. And the reason I do it, because I know we're going to give them 110%. It's not that you want anybody to get hurt. You don't want any property burned, but you want to be sitting on go. And you have to have that mindset when you go to work that, hey, I want to do something today.
Right.
Yeah.
We're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Let's go back a little bit, Chief. Let's go back to your early days, where you grew up, what early life was, your family life, and what got you interested in the fire department.
Sure. So I grew up in a rural area, and we had a volunteer fire department, and my grandfather was a member of the civil defense. And so I remember as a young kid, we were out and they were dragging a lake for a body. And I can remember as an adult now thinking back that I loved their uniforms. They had old gray jumpsuits. They had an old milk truck that was converted into a rescue truck. And I just can remember falling in love with that. And so then my dad's job moved him to Houston because it's a big chemical area in Houston. And it just played right into me because I wanted to be a big city fireman. And then once I got out of high school, I just started applying and just was like, please give me a job with the city. So
you started applying everywhere, and when did you get?
No, I never applied to anywhere but the Houston Fire Department.
Oh,
I was almost to the point of being hard-headed that I was going to keep on until I got into Houston Fire Department.
And what's the criteria for getting on there? You take a test, or how does that work?
So you take a test. When I tested, there was about 9,000 and something tested, and we had like 186 job openings at the time.
Shit. Yeah.
Very, very competitive. And so you had to have a little bit of college, military, you get extra points. I didn't have military, but I scored well on the exam. And then you do your physical fitness, and then of course your background check. So it's very competitive. Now, something we used to do that I wish we would do more, we've gotten away. We did legacy firemen. And I know that's some controversial to some people, but I like multi-generational firemen because they get it. Yeah. And they seen their families do it. So in my academy class, I probably had 15, maybe 20 guys whose dad were firemen and who were, legit firemen. And several of them in my class, their parents actually became assistant chiefs and fire chief and stuff, which was pretty cool.
Right. You know what it is about firemen too? Like I say this all the time on the show. Like I told you, like my father, my uncle, my three brothers were firemen. My two brothers were firemen. You know what the culture's like because it's inevitable that they bring it home.
Yes,
the house.
Yes.
And the fire, your kitchen table at home becomes the secondary firehouse kitchen table. There is no shock when you get to the firehouse. And you guys are ask Ruffy, like when we were kids, right? Ruffy, you'd come over, we'd be breaking up, we'd be breaking each other's balls like we were in the firehouse.
Yeah.
I was a young kid, My father would be breaking my balls like
That's it. Nobody gets us. And that's okay. And I'm glad nobody gets us because that keeps us in that little secret society, And you think about it, we have our own language, we have our own customs. Everything is unique about us. And I love everything about it. There's nothing that I don't love about the fire service. I don't like the line of duty deaths and things like that, but there's nothing that I don't love about the fire service. I like the smell of the fire station. I like the atmosphere of the fire station. I like the guys loving each other at the fire station. I love everything about the fire station,
right,
including running all night. So you just have to.
You know what I picked up too? Like you only met me and Louie tonight, right?
Yeah.
So you must have called Louie brother 15 times already. I'm like, is that amazing? Like, isn't that amazing? Like we don't even have to know you. And we call you brother. What's up, brother?
So, we have to. And, we in Houston Fire Department, we've experienced a lot of line of duty deaths in my career. And you'll be amazed. New York City guys sat down and helped us out on some line of duty. Dallas helps us, Fort Worth. And then when you guys got murdered and they attacked you guys on 9/11, Houston Fire Department sent so many guys up there to help you. We actually lost Captain Tortorese. He passed away a few years after that from lung problems, and they contributed to the World Trade Center. But we have to be brothers and sisters because, it's when you say that I'll lay my life down for you, that has to be true. That has to be the person you're working with and the person beside you has to believe it as much as you mean it. And that's what makes us a brother. Or if you call me at 2:00 in the morning and you say, I need something, that's what you get from me because we are brothers. It's a different patch. Right. It's a different place. And I don't care how big or how small. We got to be. It's if not, we've lost. And some people want it. Some people don't want us to be that way. But I'm just hard-headed enough to want to be that way more than they don't want me to be that way.
Well, who do you think don't want? Again, Ruff.
Who we had somebody from Houston on.
What the hell was his
Jenkins?
name?
Jenkins.
Dale Jenkins?
Oh, Captain Jenkins. He was my captain forever. So let me tell you, this guy is to the core of firemen. And we trained, his name was General. General Jenkins was what people called him because he trained us so much. But he never did it to be mean. He never did to harass us. He wanted us to be great. So we would be coming back from an EMS run at nighttime, and we would stop and we would ladder a house and we would walk the roof of the house where he could teach us what a weak roof felt like.
Wow.
Or he would be coming down the street and we'd do a quick drill because he wanted us to be 100.
Okay, good.
That's a great guy. So you interviewed a guy that taught me a lot over my career.
Hey, Roof, I was saying in the pre-show before you were sitting down. Maybe you were here. I don't know. Like this guy, when he talks about the fire service, it's like a fucking kid coming down on fucking Christmas Day.
Christmas. Yeah, he's excited.
Oh my God. The love of the
motivated.
Job, it just oozes out of him, bro. Like,
No, he's motivated.
Oh, I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have this job every day. Every day I'm lucky to have it.
well, where else do you go to a job where you're like, I can't wait to get back to work? Who does that?
Yeah.
Who says, I can't wait to go back to work?
You couldn't wait to get back from your honeymoon, right? I mean, you're like,
I told him, I called when I was on my honeymoon in Hawaii.
What I missed? What's
Did I
going
miss
on?
anything? They're like, are you on your honeymoon? Click.
Yeah. That's where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any of your friends that were on the job before you got on, or you were like one?
No,
of the first?
my grandfather, and then of course my dad volunteered, in our small town, but it was nothing formal. But no one, and all of my friends. And I'm one of those guys. I don't have any friends that are not firemen. Like I don't have anybody I can just say that's my friend. Everybody I'm friends with, everybody I associate with, is a fireman, and I'm good with that.
When you retire though, and you go out to other places and you start trying to be like a fireman, and your wife says to you, "Yeah, this is not the firehouse, bro. They don't understand that."
You can't turn it off, and you can't turn it off.
You can't turn it off, right?
It's I heard a story, and I've never asked Lieutenant McCormick about this, but I was in St. Louis, and they were showing me around town. And the guy goes, "Yeah, man, we're going here." I think he had Kurt Isaacson and Lieutenant McCormick, and they pull up on a fire. And they said Lieutenant McCormick got out and said, just like he was on the fire truck, so he looked, told the guy driving, he goes, "Hey, man, I got the rear." And so he took off to the back. So you can't turn off being a fireman.
Nah,
I got the rear. I'll see you on the top floor.
I'll see it.
Yeah.
So tell us about when you come out of the tower and you go to, where'd you go?
So
this is 96, right? 1996?
Yes, sir. And so Houston Fire Department makes you go to paramedic school because we do fire-based EMS. And you have to ride the ambulance for a little while. And so when I come off the tower, I went to paramedic school. I got assigned to Station 29, which was on the southeast side of town. But we could ride for people. And so I started going over to District 46 and Station 26 and 35s, and I started riding. And because I just wanted to make fires. And so I didn't want to be a paramedic. I wanted to be a fireman. So I fell in love. And my old senior captain, Captain Burleson, he was from a real hot station. And he told me, he said, "Man, you're going to disappoint me if you don't go to 46s, 7s, or somewhere like that." So I went to 46s as soon as I could.
Now, 46s means that the engine and the truck are both 46? So what is that?
46 housed a chief, an engine, a truck, and a squad. I also had an ambulance. So I drove the squad for a while. And the squad basically carries medics. And we would get to work at fires. We had a great chief, Chief Hooker. He would put us to work on fires. Matter of fact, Captain Jenkins used to always laugh. And he goes, "Man, my squad got an assignment before I did." So that was the thrill. And then I was on the engine. And then when I made captain, I was lucky enough to stay at 46. I stayed at 46 on the same shift as a captain and worked there several years as a captain. And then I became
on the engine or the
on the engine. Yes, sir. And the way we do it in Houston Fire Department, they call it captains are on the engines and senior captains are on the truck. So you take another promotion to get on the truck because we have dual roles. Like where you guys, you're either assigned to a truck or an engine. we alternate on both apparatus. So today you may be on the engine, tomorrow you may be on the truck, and it works like that. But a senior captain is assigned to the truck always.
How many guys does the truck and the engine ride with in Houston?
So the engine has 4. We mandated 4.
Right.
It's a sad story how we got 4. When I first got in, we rode with 3. Captain Yankee was killed in a high-rise fire, and the Yankee family was very influential. I mean, there was, I don't even know how many Yankees that was in the fire department. And right before Captain Yankee was killed, the chiefs went to city council and told them we needed 4-man staffing and all the dangers. So they had a chief that said, no, that's not the case. They let us go back to 3-man staffing, and Captain Yankee and a civilian was killed just like maybe a month or so later. So after that, they mandated 4-man staffing. So we have 4 on the engine, 4 on the truck.
Did you by any chance go back to that chief and say, "You dick"?
A lot of people did. He left very quickly after.
I'm sure he did.
So, sadly, that was a bad decision made by the administrative level that hurt us. And you guys have been through it.
Does that include the officer 4?
Yes. So yes, like we count our officer as a working member. Yes.
Like he's not stretching hose, is he? Is he?
So he usually takes the thermal imager and he'll actually lead the process, but he is still working. Because
I heard that some of the officers there actually engage in firefighting practice. Is that true?
They do.
Oh, they do. Tank, could you pull that picture up of a random chief actually cutting us using a saw as a chief somewhere? I don't know.
Oh, you mean that?
Oh, that guy? As a chief, he picks up a saw and he's cutting holes. I mean, I don't know. Is that what happened?
What was that?
So we were at a donut-shaped apartment.
Is that a typical type of apartment thing that you got going?
Yeah, it's and so what it is, they're just built in a big circle.
Right.
So the guys were working down to the left, and some guys was working behind me, and we needed to get that roof. I mean, not the roof, but the underneath the ceiling and the breezeway out. And so there was a saw there, and I said, "Well, I'll just start cutting it away for them." And so I cut that away and pulled a little bit for them. That way they could get some lines in there and go to work. It's like, it's
Look at him smirking.
You know what? Chief Steve's shivering right now. Whoa!
Yeah. Hey, I tell people I didn't take a test to do less. I took a test to do more. So, yeah, it's and a lot of people goes, man, that might be stupid to cut that and pull it. I'm like, well, we had to get water in there somehow, so it worked for us.
Hey, Chief, I want to ask you, I saw in the last, 2 weeks, probably like 3, I like to call them like shed fires, like a 1-story building. And there's like 3 to 4 guys on the roof.
Yes.
Right. To peak. It's like, it's not even a peak, but it's like, just like a flat peak. Right.
Right.
Yet all of the windows are intact. Right. There might be a line going in. I can't really tell all the time, but I think the one that I just saw, somebody like actually they weren't butting the ladder, and I don't know if you've seen that one, and everybody just came tumbling down. The ladder kicked out, and they all came tumbling down. But
yeah.
Why? I'm not saying don't vent the roof.
Right.
I'm just saying you got 3 guys on the roof or 4 guys on the roof. Every person who comes on here outside of FDNY has manpower issues.
Yes.
So what? And all the windows are intact. Like it's a shed. It's like a 1-story shed, for God's sakes. Like what? Yeah. What's the?
So we get a lot of people on our fires. So we have 2 trucks coming, and the first truck gets to make a decision if we're going to go in emergency rescue mode or primary search mode. And the second truck will cut, or the first truck will cut, and we keep all windows intact. And what we try to do by keeping windows intact, as soon as we cut that hole, we'll crank a fan and we'll pressurize everything on that first floor, and it'll push it up through that vent hole. And so we carry this thing called a brick on a stick. And it's a big old Neanderthal looking tool. And so as soon as one guy cuts, the clean out guy will come and he will take the ceiling underneath for him. and then we pressurize that and we get it all up and out. And so it's either the first or the second truck that will do that. So we have 2 trucks coming, and we will get one truck. And so the first line is always going to be the attack line. And then we'll put a backup line in place to protect the engine crew. And then we'll put a truck crew in searching. And then we'll put a truck crew on the roof. Now, if we pull up, that being said, and I've got fire blowing out of a side window, we'll crank the fan up immediately and pressurize everything and keep pushing that fire.
How does that work? It works out good? Like it works good?
It does. You have to be real careful. Now, if you're not used to what the fan's going to do, and you don't have a real aggressive hose company, you'll burn it down around you.
I was going to say, you have the foundation.
Yeah.
Hey, Roof, but finally, a guy gave you an answer.
I know. Like,
Yeah. You've got to be working that hose line, and you've got to have some guys that's really getting after it. Now, if you stump your toe and that fan's blowing behind you, it'll find you.
So you guys are actually, when they're in there with the line, putting water on the fire, the fan will start to be in operation when that's happening.
Yes, right behind you.
The truck.
Right behind you. The truck chauffeur will crank that fan up behind that line.
I got to see that like in action. How coordinated is? I mean, obviously it has to be really.
Gary, and that was something that we drill on constantly.
Really?
And as soon as a rookie comes in, now there's a lot of things that play in effect. Like if you make a common attic apartment fire, you're not going to do that. Or if you make, say a row home, you're not going to do that. That's just on single story homes that you're going to do that with. If you make an old balloon frame construction house, you're not going to do it there, But if you just make a 1-story that's really burning good and you've got a vent hole already, you just crank that fan up. And what it does is it seems like it pressurizes in there. And then all of a sudden you'll see the smoke start going to where the fire is. And then it'll push it out that exhaust point. That's why, I hope I don't make any of your guests mad, but that's why I am so against spraying water in windows. You will never convince me in my entire life that spraying water in a burning window is a good thing. Because you're just going to push the fire back inside. You're going to steam everybody. Now, there's occasions when you have to go defensive. I understand that. But the first tactic off the pumper to just go spray water in a window,
Well,
the
only thing we've learned, Chief, is that sometimes guys show up with like 1 or 2 guys, and they really have no choice. It's not like us or you guys.
I do understand that. I do understand that. I don't want anyone, one-man engine to go off in there with a fan. I would never think that. And I am totally okay with a one-man engine doing what he has to do. Sadly, I think the county and the city failed the citizens there, not the fire department.
Right.
So, but yes, I do agree with that now. That's a very
other big, it's kind of like, I mean, I've heard a little bit about the fans, but I haven't really heard like legit like protocol, like this is what we're doing. Like you would do that. That's happening
every Friday.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Look at that. Somebody answered your question.
Yeah, that tactic was huge in a lot of places, like where I'm from, throughout the late '90s and all the way up into the mid 2000s. I mean,
the fan?
Yeah, that positive pressure attack like that. As long as you had a vent point, and it takes training.
Well, that makes sense why everybody's going to the roof then, but. So that's the whole truck company. The whole second truck is going there, or is that just?
So the senior captain and the 2 firefighters, the guy driving, he will usually go about halfway up the ladder, and he will watch and make sure the roof's not getting soft underneath him, and he'll just kind of be their safety guy. And as soon as they start coming off the roof, then he'll go get the electricity. We'll cut the power real quick.
No, they're not taking glass.
No.
See, that makes sense then to me.
Yeah, well, for me, it's a hell of a lot easier to just take the windows, ain't it, than to put a.
Well, you got 3,500 guys showing up.
Well, that too, yeah.
Probably a little easier,
Yeah. So it's Ray McCormick was messing with me one time, And we were talking about, and I was asking him, I said, do you guys bust windows? He goes, no, we don't bust windows. We take windows. And so yeah.
Well, I say that all the time because every time I watch it, all the windows are intact. I must have said it 1,000 times. All the windows are intact. I see 5 guys on the roof, and it doesn't make any sense to me because those guys could be searching, like you were saying. There's not much time.
Yeah.
And, to have all those guys on the roof just to cut a hole doesn't make that much sense to me. But, I mean, maybe it makes a little more sense.
And so, and we're real lucky because the way the forefathers of us, the way they set our city up in our response area, we have 2 trucks in the district. So by the time one truck gets to the roof, the other truck's usually arriving on scene. So we're pretty lucky about getting a lot of manpower there quick. We're fairly close. We have very good water supply. We have a couple plugs on every street, so we don't take manpower away from that. We're able to and like all engines are pulling up almost at the same time, and then the trucks are getting there just right at the same time with them. So that helps a lot. If we had a delayed response time, we would probably alter our thinking a little bit. But initially, and you think back our thinking, and I think some stations in Houston Fire Department, you look at 7s, 34s, 31s. Those guys are great hole cutters. I mean, they just that's what they do. And those guys have probably cut. So, when I was a young fireman, we used to see a guy named Travis Quint in Captain Bar. And Travis Quint was a big old burly guy. And you would see him carrying a 35-foot ladder with a running chainsaw. And that was his job. And so he would make me look little. And then Captain Barr was like the surgeon, he just get there. But they instilled those values. And when you went to those stations, that was really part of your early training, is to work on that roof, work on it safely. Like Captain Jenkins made us walk on it. Hey, where to cut, how to notice where to cut. And then there in my district at 68s, I've seen Captain Schroeder cut some stuff that, it just like scare me to death. And the next thing you know, everything looks better. There's a video out there about ventilation on District 19. And smoke is just like almost to the ground. Well, Captain Baker and his guys are already up on the roof, and you can see it just pressurized coming out of the rear. And then all of a sudden, you see the smoke leave, and you could walk through the house, and you could see Captain Baker and his guys on the roof, and they cut this. I don't know. I could send it to you guys one day and let you see it and just see how well that worked. But our thinking is, so whenever smoke goes up, it meets resistance and all that. So our thinking is, if we cut it and we clear that ceiling out, it just goes right straight up and out, and it gets up off the guys, and then the hose line makes it a lot better. Plus the victims too.
Yeah, no, I mean, we do that as well.
You guys do that on flat roofs, I think.
Yeah, we do that. Yeah. We don't go on peak roofs.
Y'all don't. Now, is that just legacy reasons, or is just that you just get in there a lot quicker with a line? And
yeah, I mean, most of the time, anything that's peaked is going to be a 1 or 2 story. So, we call those dollhouses. So, but again, we kill stuff with manpower. Most of the time, very few times that I've seen, even I'm sure Kevin would say the same thing. Once in a while, if it's like a Queen Anne type or something like that, where it's got a lot of peaks and valleys and the fire's in there and the guys can't get to it, then maybe they'll use a tower ladder bucket. But nobody would ever put up a ladder like I see guys do, like the hook ladders and stuff like that. We wouldn't do any of that stuff ever.
Yeah. It's I think I just read a comment of someone's talking about that vertical ventilation rules. They just don't put the fan. And, it doesn't work for everyone. And I'd be the first to say that, but it just works for us.
Listen, if you're coordinated, then it works, and the guys are all on the same page, and it works good. Then
And so we always have, just like everything else, we always have a backup plan. If that fan doesn't work immediately, the chauffeur cuts it off. And when I say immediately, I mean seconds. So So, a lot of it is, and it's coordinated.
Yeah,
And it's something that's drilled on over and over and over. So, yeah. You got to be careful you have to know your territory. I mean, you can't go to a bloom frame construction home and do that, or you can't go to a row house or a common attic. So it's really got to be really coordinated. You got to understand it, and you got to be on your toes with it too.
Do you guys have those, like I figured down in the South, maybe like the terracotta roofs, like those tile roofs? Do you have
I've never seen one in my territory. I'm sure some of the richer parts of town may have those. Right. I've never seen one. But I think those would probably be hard to vent. I mean, I wouldn't even know really where to start on that. Yeah. Busted.
Where are we at, Coops?
I just had a question. I forgot what the hell it was. But all right.
While you think about it, in a long time, I've not seen the chat get so fired up about a specific topic. Boys in the chat, y'all gotta take a breath and love each other. And remember, it's all about how you train, what you train for.
What are they talking about?
Oh, they're fired up about this venting.
Oh, the fan? Oh, nice.
Well, they're talking about my shirt too. So
your shirt took up after that.
I saw Coops typing like he was like doing like this, you know. And then he forgot his question because he was so fired up. Like, I got it off your old lady's nightstand. It took 20 minutes to type that.
I've never been so happy to see a topic change and start making sense again. But right into there, it was needed.
Oh, yeah. All right. So listen, you go from, where's my fucking thing right here, bro? Captain of Engine 46, you become, right?
Yes.
Before special ops assignment. So there's no lieutenant rank, I would imagine, in the.
It's the special ops was a senior captain position. And so we have 3 rescue trucks in the city. And I was assigned the one rescue truck has a senior and 2 has captains. I was assigned to the one with a senior, and we pretty much do everything cool in the city. All major accidents, structural collapse, all good fires, all multiple alarms we go to, trench, water rescues and things like that. So that was a 3-year learning experience. And, I was I guess I was the weak link when I went there because I didn't grow up in rescue. And I did it because I knew someday I wanted to be a chief, but I'd never known any part of the city other than 46s. So I'm like, man, I better go on a citywide vehicle and start learning the rest of the city. And so, it's a good opportunity to see all over the city.
All right. Somebody in the chat wants to know if you remember your first job when you got to 46.
I do. I was a very young guy. It was at Belford and Nunn Street. And it was like a little stop and go burning. And I can remember thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared to death, but I'm having so much fun. And I stayed tangled up in wires the entire fire. Everywhere I went, I was tangled up with something. And so finally, after we got it put out and we got it put out, and my old captain, he made me work harder than anybody. I wet that thing down, and there's probably still wet wood somewhere out there because I put so much water on
it. That's good. I like it.
Yeah, I still remember the address.
What is it?
Belford and Nunn. Belford is on Nunn Street, right at Nunn Street in Belford.
So we saw you as a chief take a saw. Have you ever wound up with the nozzle as a chief?
I have. So.
Did you expect anything less? Like, really?
Yeah, I really did. How that happened?
It's hot. It's hot in Texas.
You wind up with the nozzle.
And, so I work with Chief App. So a backstory to this. So Chief App and I, we work side by side. We respond to everything together. And Chief App was the one that was trapped in the high rise here on the northeast side of town a few years ago. And so I figure he's given enough to the city. He's earned the right to decide what he wants to do. So sometimes if it's real hot, I'll go take it because he can't regulate his temperature. He messed his body up real bad in that fire. He can't regulate temperature. He's got lung problems, liver problems, kidney problems, and he was such a good firefighter. And so I get to be a division. So occasionally you make these big apartment fires, guys are just wore out. And so usually say, hey man, take a little break. Let me get that nozzle some, and I'll give you a break back, and I'll do it. But nothing crazy. Just a little water squirting, and let them take a break and then go back.
Dude, can you imagine giving up the nozzle to the chief? Never happened.
I mean, I'm sure your paper would have to be in if once you get back to the firehouse. I don't know.
Hey,
Man, I'm probably the biggest fire squirrel you've ever met.
Give the nozzle up to the chief.
What's that, Chief?
I'm probably the biggest fire squirrel you ever met. I love making them, and I love everything about it. I mean, I would even go overhaul one just to get to go with one. So yeah. And the guys are good to me. I work with some good guys. Captain Mario, Captain Schroeder, I got Captain Cratchy and Captain Novicki, Captain Medina. Those guys are just good. And they've built this great team. So I really don't have anything to do. And so they're good, and they let me, they let me have a little
play once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're good to me.
Let the chief get in there. Let him scratch his itch a little bit. And,
Probably take the nozzle. Go ahead. When you go to at the engine 46, you go to
Rescue 11.
Rescue 11. Well, it says 3 rescues.
Yes, sir. We have 3 rescues. We have Rescue 42, which is on the east side, and they kind of divide the city up. We have 642 square miles in the city of Houston.
That's big.
It is. And we have almost 100 fire stations. So they put the rescue trucks in thirds. Mm-hmm. So 42s takes care of the east side. Rescue 11 takes care of the middle part. And then Rescue 10 takes care of the west side. So if Rescue 10 or Rescue 42 has a significant incident, Rescue 11 will always go help because we carry a little bit of extra tools. We're actually on a tractor trailer.
Tractor trailer? You got to find that. Look
who's
if you look at Rescue 11, you'll see a tractor trailer come up.
Chief, who's the busiest?
I'm sorry?
Who's the busiest fire duty wise? 11?
So Rescue 11. So in the rescue company, Rescue 11. In my district is one of the busiest districts in the city. Station 51 is always in the top. Station 28, which is right by 51's top numbers. And then 68's is always like 3rd or 4th in run volumes and in working fires. So, I mean, the guys go to work a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, across the city, 46's district, 31's, 34's, those guys, they go to work every day. And those are some really, really good places. I mean, if you get to go somewhere like that, or like District 68 or 28, you're a lucky fireman. Mm. So
are these guys
still have vacancies there, Chief?
No. So once you get there, like Dustin Gray, for example, at my station's probably, he's like an 18-year firefighter. Wally Fleming is a 20-year firefighter. I mean, Wally Hayes, I'm sorry. Well, I'm working with Wally Fleming today, but Wally Hayes is a, over 20-year firefighter. Schroeder and Mario's both been in the district their entire careers. And then the other guys are looking at about 14 or 15. Nobody comes and goes. So once you get there, you want to stay there.
No, that answered a good question. I was saying, is there any vacants as far as like building-wise?
Buildings.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, we have lots. Yeah,
we still have a lot there, huh?
Yeah, we do. So we don't. The city is not zoned well, and so you could have a high rise, and right next to it you could have a muffler shop, or you could have a nice home, and right behind it you could have a chemical plant. And then we do have a lot of vacant homes and a lot of boarded up homes. They don't really take them down often.
I wanted to ask you, Chief, like it seems like during the 60s, the 70s, early 80s with the war years, did they have the war years in Houston as well during those times?
They did, and it was whenever they were cutting a freeway. They were cutting a freeway through 7s, 8s, and 46's district. It's 288. It's a main road. And that was in the late 80s and early 90s. And those guys were going to fires, 4 and 5 a day while they were cutting that way through town. And they were
Why is that?
I think they were just burning those houses down to where they could get the road to go through.
Well,
Yeah.
oh, you don't want to sell this to us? All right, we'll burn you out of there.
It's and then after the hurricane, we had a pretty good stint of like they were getting them turning back on, and I guess the insurance jobs and stuff. We were making fires just constantly. But compared to your guys' war years, it would have to be the late '80s and early '90s.
Really?
Yeah.
If I had a son and he was going to Houston, which firehouse would? If I told you,
68s or 51s. There's no question. Yeah, you can see them over there. You got a bunch of guys that love going to work. They would treat him good. They would treat him better than anything in the world. We get visitors come all the time, and they're like, "Man, we just thought you were joking about the way you guys train." I'm like, "Man, these guys are all business."
All right, so when me and Louie come there in March, where are we going?
68s.
68. Ruffy, you ready for 68?
Hell
Any good
no.
cooks over there?
I'm sorry?
Any good cooks? Because we got to be fed the right way, you know what I mean?
We have really good cooks. And usually when we have visitors, we usually get steaks. We are from Texas.
Oh,
We'll lay the spread out for you.
We'll buy the steaks.
Yes, and we'll promise you will have a good time.
Coobs will buy the steaks. Coobs will.
I was going to say, did Louis grow some more?
What happened? His head went from here to here all of a sudden, bro.
Heck, don't believe all the hype. There's a lot of hot air
the
up
new
there.
Louis,
I
you know
know.
what I mean? It's the new Ruffy.
I've been on the receiving end. I'm blessed.
It's the new Ruffy is what it is, bro.
All right, I got 11 right here for us, guys. Everybody's like semi truck. Let's go. I got you right here.
Show me.
That's it.
No way.
That thing is fucking huge.
You're not.
So if you look,
Are you legitly rolling that thing?
yes, it's probably somewhere on the freeway right now making a run.
Holy shit.
That's crazy.
What are
So you see where the number 11 is right there. We carry a boat there. And so we could have that boat blown up with a boat motor on it within like maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
How hard is that to turn down a block? Like,
Man, it's those guys that drive it are good. I got a Patrick Horton's driving it. I wouldn't want to drive it.
Ty, put that back. Where are the guys sitting in that thing, bro?
in the cab.
they're all in the front cab.
Full size cab.
Holy shit, that thing is huge.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is it's not only the whole back section. There's like a little section on the
see
back
that,
section.
like right in the middle, right? Like
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's something else. In the Houston Fire Department, we have Apparatus Day on Mondays. We have to clean all the apparatus tools. That's a booger. So we split that up between several days. Like one day we do our ropes, and one day we do this. So it's
you got a bathroom in that thing? What's going on?
yeah, it's crazy.
5-gallon bucket. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
What's the other rescue that you have over there?
I'm sorry.
What's the other rescue?
Oh, the other rescues are just like the ones you guys have.
What's the numbers?
Oh, Rescue 42 is we call it the fast truck. Rescue 10 is a fast truck, and then Rescue 11 is a tractor trailer.
Tank, see if you can find that so you can just compare what it is.
Chief, is that the only rescue that you know of that's like that? Or are there other?
Yes, that's the only one I know.
I've never seen one.
We carry assortment of structural collapse material in there at the same time, and we're going through a lot of building construction things, a lot of trench. We carry a lot of trench rescue stuff on it. So that, when the guys put it together, I think they did a good job putting that together.
Where are their basic firefighting tools when they show up to a job? Is it in the cab that they're sitting in?
Yes. So we keep those in the cab with us. They might have to get a saw when they get out. But as far as, the Halligan, the axes and things like that, we carry our own. And a lot of us carry our own personal tools. And like I carried a 6-foot New York hook with me. That's what I liked. And but then, whoever's there, they like their own personal tool. We don't really have like, for example, you guys have somebody on the cans. We really don't do that.
Well, I was going to ask you, how many guys on that rig?
I'm sorry?
How many guys ride on that rig?
Oh, so that one has 5.
So
there's
an officer?
There's 3 firefighters, a chauffeur, and an officer on that one. Yes.
Right.
and they carry that's what that's the fast truck. So
what do you call it, the fast truck? They go to every job as a fast truck?
So I'm not sure. That was way before I came along, and I think it was just because they didn't want to call it the little truck since we had the big truck. So they made it feel good and called it a fast truck.
And the third rescue looks like that one.
Yeah. Wow. And so 42's is identical setup to that.
So here's
and then, of course, we have our boats, and they have jet skis and things like that.
So here's a question. How long has 11 been a tractor trailer? Is that a new concept?
Way before I went to rescue. It's been that way. So, but I'm not sure.
Let me try to find it.
How do you fit that in the fucking firehouse? Where do you put
you don't close the bay doors in the back. So as you came around, you run through and the bay door in the back stays open.
Well,
Does it really?
Yeah.
I guess you can in Houston, right? Holy
yeah.
Bigger stuff in Texas, Coop.
They say bigger in Texas, right, bro?
Oh, someone just said they think Portland has one like that. So maybe there was a couple.
I think Portland's is a
Rob Procaccini said that.
They have a tiller rescue, actually. It's not a tractor trailer. It's an actual tiller.
Oh, check it out, Tank. Look at it. Look it up, bro.
I'm trying.
That's Mrs. Procaccini's husband saying that I believe Portland has one.
Are you wanting to see that truck too?
Yeah, bro.
I got you.
On it.
Off it.
Well,
y'all keep talking. Let me do my looking. I'll find this here.
You're looking, bro. So, years you do in the senior captain is in R11?
I was either 3 or 4 years, and then I went to chief.
So you went to a lot of work there, no doubt.
Yes.
And how do they operate the rescues?
So we operate a little bit different. You guys like you guys just go on scene and you go do whatever needs to be done. We usually get an assignment from the chief, and he'll make us like a forward writ, and depending on what chief we ran with too. But like Chief Miller, for example, in the downtown area, if we made something, he would assign us to a search or to help somebody do something. If we made a high rise, we would usually go to the fire floor and we'd get a good look at that fire floor, and then we may go above to see what it looked like. But usually it was an assignment that the chief gave us.
Right. So you're at the chief's discretion, really.
Yes. And then a lot of times you just be writ. Like if you make a small house fire and you get there, they would make you writ because they try to turn the rescue truck loose as soon as they can.
Right.
And get them back in service. So.
What positions do they have on the rescue? What are they?
So you have a chauffeur, a captain, and 3 firefighters. So the firefighter that sat behind me was Sammy Castaneda, and me and him stayed together at all costs. Mm-hmm. And then Foster Santos was our senior guy. And everything that we did, like if we did a high angle rescue, Foster would give it the nod that, the ropes are tied, or no, let's redo this. And so before I would do anything, I would look at Foster, he's old school and his arms are like this and be, and then Anthony Abbott and the chauffeur, Patrick Horton, they would usually do a 360 and soften the building up, and then they'd catch up to Sammy and I. So, Foster was he was the brains of the operation. I just kind of did whatever Foster said.
Where do you think you got the most work, Chief?
I'd say as an engine captain, and that was my most favorite job. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
I love the engine. If I didn't want to work in the fire department for 40 or 45 years, I would still be on the engine, but I knew I wanted to stay a long time, so I promoted. But I did more work as an engine captain, and it's still fun. It's just something like pulling a hose off a fire truck and squirting water. I don't know.
Well, I guess when you're
ready.
You got it?
Yeah, I've had it. I've just been letting y'all boys go. There you go. It's a tiller, and it's got a knuckle boom crane behind the cab.
Oh, wow.
What is that?
Yep. That's a knuckle boom crane behind the cab. Tiller rescue.
It's a knuckle boom crane.
It's like, I don't know what that word is, but like comes out like that. You can't see me. It's forward like this. It comes out like that.
And what does it do?
It's a crane.
For what?
I don't know. Maybe they go to crane operations in Portland. Obviously, they decided they needed it.
Look
Maybe
at
they had a little extra
it's
money back in the
Maybe
day.
it's for the boat or something.
Squad too, bro. It ain't even a rescue. It's a squad.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's interesting, man. How many different rigs there are rescue?
I love
When
how
you guys
much
come down to visit, I'll take you over and let you look at it.
Well, dude, we're coming, bro. You better, dude. I want that hood. I want a steak. I want to go to fire, bro. Me and Ruffy are gonna be forcing doors. Like, Ruffy's like, I'm not fucking door.
Chief, who is if you had to think, who is the most influential guy in your career?
So I emulate my career actor, Chief Hooker. So I had a bunch. So Chief Phillips was a big inspiration to me. I'll tell you a story about him in a second. But Chief Miller, you know, I looked at those guys when they were firefighters. Of course, Captain Jenkins and Captain Curtis, my old senior captain. And the reason I say that is they put a lot of time and effort into me when they didn't have to. You know, it's they really, really dedicated. And Captain Jenkins trained us so well. But yeah, I had so many mentors I looked up to because I wanted to look out. And one of the best speeches I ever had in my career that made me stay straight. So when I took the captain's test, so we take a test, you know, there's about 1,000 or 1,500 people taking it, maybe 2,000, I don't remember. So you come out and your chief's there and they've got a notepad like this and they're like, how'd you do? And so they're getting numbers. And so my chief saw me, he goes, how'd you do? I said, I did good. He goes, well, what does that mean? What number are you? And I told him, I said, well, I'm going to get promoted on the first go round. And so Chief Phillips was there. Chief Phillips told my Chief Hooker, he goes, Fred, I've got him. So he walked me to my car, which was several blocks away. And he pretty much laid the law down to me that they invested lots of time into me. And they would come get me if I failed them. And they said, you better never let us down. You better never forget you're here for the citizens. You better never forget you're here for the men that work under you. And so he gave me this mentor speech that I remember from like 2004, 2005 when I made captain. And I got to do a podcast with him actually.
Oh, shit.
On National Fire Talk Radio. And I got to tell him personally that how much I appreciated that talk.
What did he say?
I never told him that. And I got to tell him to his face that I still remembered him walking me down the street telling me that I better not let them down. And I hope I never have. You know, I try to still think about the values those guys gave me. You know, they're simple values. It's just if you're an officer, take care of your guys. And then your guys take care of the civilians. And so yeah, I had a lot. And I hope I didn't let any of them down, you know. And I still call them from time to time to ask them, you know, what did you do for this? Or what did you do for this? Or you're having a bad day. It's kind of nice to, you know, talk to one of the guys that.
Are they all out, Chief? They're all out.
So Chief Miller's still in, but the rest of them are all gone.
Yeah.
You know, I miss them. I miss them a lot. You know, Captain Jenkins, we never slept. We were always up. We were always awake. And we drank coffee and we just sat and we talked and we were making runs. And you just what you could get, you know, people talk about the kitchen table. Man, that's so true. It would be 4:00 in the morning, and then he would be telling you something that happened back in the 70s or 80s when he was in, and he wanted you to, you know, he just wanted you to be better. And he never shut us down. It was just I don't know. I'm a lucky guy. I guess that's the best way I can say it. I could sit here and tell you 50 or 60 people, but I guess, you know, I'm just a lucky guy, man. I've never worked around a slug. I've always worked around top-notch people. From the first day I got in the fire department to today, when I go in the firehouse, I'm scared I'm going to let somebody down. And so now I've got a bunch of people underneath me that I wouldn't let down for $1 million.
Chief, we had Vinny Dunn, Chief Dunn,
yes,
on the show a couple times.
Yeah.
And at the end of the show, he said something I think it was we had him on a few shows because he had such an incredible, legendary career. But he said being on the job was like being on a magic carpet ride. And that, you know, like when you say like how lucky you are, right? Like how it's not until your career is towards the end that or over.
Right.
That you look
You
back
remember
and
when he
realize
said
like
he
how-
realized that, Roof?
That was his last tour, right?
He was
that his
looking
last-
out. It was snowing. He said the window was fogged up. I mean, you can't ask for more.
No, but he thought about how many people have looked, because the
that
firehouse is
window.
over 100 years old. How many people have looked out?
Oh
this
yeah,
yeah.
And he thought
and I'm blessed. You know, my parents was good to me, and they supported me and everything. And you look when you go down the street, and in my part-time job, we was talking about this. We had Santa on the fire truck, and there was a little girl out here, and she was probably 3 years old. And Santa crawled on the fire truck, and her legs was running in place at about 100-0. That's what we're for. You know, and how many times have you ridden down the street and every little kid looked at you, wanted to be you? And man, you know, how many of us are there? There's not a lot of us when you think of how big society is.
Yeah.
You know, so man, yeah. And I'll never abuse this job. I will love it to the day.
Look at his face.
Look what Patty Lee
loves the job
Patty Lee
more.
wrote. Look what Patty Lee wrote. The chief's opinion would change if he had to work with Italians all the time.
I don't think so, bro.
No, that was my lieutenant,
mind.
Chief. That was my.
You ain't changing this guy's mind.
Hey, and I'll tell you something. Every time I've been up there to visit you guys, y'all have been so nice to me. I mean, I got to see some of the coolest stuff, you know, and man, you guys are welcoming, you know, and I met a chief at Squad 270, and I brought his ideal back that he was telling me how he keeps his manpower. I do that in the mornings now. So we're all the same. You know, I don't care where we're at. You go to Atlanta, wherever you go, we're the same people. And
you don't have to be in this country. You go anywhere in the world, and guys are the same, bro.
Yeah,
no doubt. Yeah. So you become chief, right? So
I don't think that'll ever happen.
You're not a chief. You're a chief.
Yeah, chief. I thought you meant the chief. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that'll happen.
Oh, you mean
we know our place.
District chief.
Yeah, district chief.
Where does this? We've talked about it on the show. Where does this controversy start? How does this headbutting start? Where?
I think it's always been that way, and I think that's for my dad. You know, my dad's a big union guy, and my dad said that you always have to take time to stand up for somebody that's not being treated right. So I think it's always been the course of my career. But whenever I became a chief, I just was able and lucky enough to protect a whole lot more guys, you know. And I think that sometimes you may have to make yourself look like a fool to let people know that you care about them. And how else can you let a fireman know you care about them other than standing up for them? And you're like, no, that's not going to happen to them. Or, you know, no.
How did this happen in your case? Because I was watching a couple of, like I said, YouTube things, and you didn't say who it was, but you said you actually liked this guy, but you were opposed to him. So who are you talking about?
Oh, it was the fire chief. It was the fire chief.
Oh, okay.
And so, and we were just making a lot of changes that I thought was bad for us. And then they talked about laying some kids off. And so I just didn't feel like that was right. And, you know, you take a kid that came in the fire department and he's probably wanted it his whole life. And then they talk about laying them off, and just because they're in a contract dispute. And I just didn't buy that. And so I had to say something, you know, and it's, I don't know, you know, you hated to have to say that, but at the same time, you wanted those 240 kids that was going to get laid off to say, hey, man, at least one person here thinks about me. One person cares about me. And so, yeah, it was never anything personal, but it was 100% that they'll go somewhere else as a job. But those 200 young rookie firefighters will remember for the next, and I hope to work about another 15 years. So the next 15 years, they'll say, man, you know, Mo Davis cared about me. Mo Davis was more worried about me than he was his career. And I think that's good. And it's not patting me on the back by no means. It's probably a tribute to my dad and my mom and dad was like, you got to stand up for it. And I think that's what firemen do. We protect the weak.
Yeah.
When a kid's laying in a closet and a kid's burning, that's our job.
Yeah.
We have to protect that kid. And then if you don't have the guts to do that, man, you got to get out. And that's why I say I hate cowards that wear our uniform. And we should come up with a sign on the fire truck: "No cowards allowed."
Nice.
And it's just carry it. So
cowards need not apply, bro.
Right.
There was Coops. There was you remember Mundinger, right?
Yeah.
So every time, like in the firehouse, they would, they'd start, like the chief was saying, there's a guy who wasn't that quick-witted or whatever, and they used to, it was a little dog pound the rabbit, and I always used to come in and I used to kind of stand up for the guy, whoever it was. And he used to go like this. I'm going to try to see if I can do it. He used to go like this. He used to do this as a cape. He goes, "Up, here comes Ruffy, defender of the week." That's what he used to say all the time. Like, "Here comes Ruffy flying in, defender of the week." He used to do the like the cape flying in.
You know what? And that's what the guys, all these people have been telling me, bro. Like, you stand up for the guys, you know, against the higher ups, which
you have to.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do. It's
about doing the right thing. You know what? As a matter of fact, Tank, I think we have a video of him standing up for the guys, bro. Right?
I think so. Maybe.
I think we do. Hold on. Watch this, bro. I think this was you. I think this was you talking to the Chiefs.
Do you know who I am? I'm Mo.
Davis.
I made my bones when you were going out with cheerleaders. Wait a minute, Mo. I get it.
Let's see it.
I'm Mo Davis. That was so horrible.
I made that suit look good too, didn't I?
I'm Mo Davis, bro. I made my bones when you were banging fucking cheerleaders. That's what you said to the Chief, right, bro?
And I never liked you.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's funny.
Yeah, but we got you. And I know you guys do too. I mean, it's just the right thing to do.
So you're never going to be the big chief?
I don't think so.
ain't.
I probably ruined my career so many times.
I feel that.
It's okay though. I don't know. I like going to fires anyway. Yeah. You know what? If I could be a really good one, I wouldn't mind it, but I don't know. You at that level, I don't know how protection you can be for the guys. So I don't know. It's probably not though. I like them old dirty shirts. Captain Dugan told me one time we were talking, and I asked him what he missed about the fire station so much as you're retired.
Who's Dugan?
Mike Dugan from you guys?
Oh, I never heard of him.
Yeah, that's another guy that I just love that guy. Yeah. So he told me, he said, Mo, he said, I miss getting in a fire truck and turn around and looking at the guys when they had a good old snotty fire, and I do, man. I like that. And then you come out and you're all dirty and you stink, and you go home and you stink. I love it. It's
dirty like that.
Thank you, Tank. I was gonna say we got more pictures. I said to this guy before in the pre-show roof, I said, you must have like 50 uniforms in your locker and all. Every picture, you're all snotted up. Let's go through them, Tank.
When somebody texts me, it's giving me a hard time.
Who's giving you a hard time?
I don't know. It's like somebody's like, "Hey, man, but if I could be like Chief Richardson, like you guys had, I would probably be a fire chief then."
Hey, Chief, tell me what this guy's saying to you right now is giving you the stink face.
So, me and him were actually friends, but he wanted us to have a rehab set up, and they wasn't setting the rehab up fast enough. And as you can see, my old buddy right there behind me, Hiram's got his head down because he knows I'm getting a good chewing. And my shirt got a little dirty, and then the guys in the back laughing. But yeah, he was letting me have it pretty hard.
Guy in the back.
Letting me go to rehab.
Look at that face, bro. He's like, listen here, Davis.
Chief Norman's in. He said, great man, great show. Thank you.
That's someone else that I think a lot of. It's
He just had an operation. I don't remember
all
what he
do.
had done. I think he had his hip or his knee or something.
So you got some more dirty pictures, shit, because this guy's got more dirty uniforms than you can shake a stick at, bro. Oh, he's smiling. He must have just come from a job right there, bro.
Yeah, so I'm looking up at the guys, and they want to know why I'm laughing so much after just working so hard. And I'm like, who wouldn't want to be here?
Now you're in Rescue 11 there, right?
Rescue 11, yes. I think that's that picture of Rescue 11. We'd made a high rise, and I'm 99% sure that's where that was at. It's probably, I guess, 10 years ago. I was a little bit skinnier back then, I guess. And actually, a good friend of mine, if I'm remembering correctly, was a chief, and it was Chief Fisher. And he just kept giving me weird assignments. And I just kept doing it. I was thinking in my head, I was like, man, this is a weird assignment. I'd come back. Then they asked me to go back to do, like, for once, I went to check see if the sprinklers was working at the other end of the hall. Then he wouldn't know if it had a drain down there. Then he wanted to know this. And then finally he goes, how long is it going to take for you to realize that I'm messing with you? So he's just like walking me through the smoke. But and so I'm looking up and I'm laughing. So they're like, how can you be so happy? I'm like, pretty good.
Yeah. Listen, what temperature did you use on that one, bro?
I'm sorry?
What temperature did you use?
Temperature?
Yeah, on that helmet.
On that helmet. Is that
Oh, man. When I was at 46s, we went to work a lot, and that was my pride.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's my pride and joy. They won't let us wear that now, but I love that helmet.
Chief, you don't have to explain to nobody. You don't have to.
You still got that helmet? Where is it?
Yeah, it's at my house.
I knew it was, bro.
I wish I don't know. I'm not a big FPA fan. I don't know if y'all can tell or not, but
you're not. Oh.
Yeah, sometimes they get in our way.
Overrated.
They do. Yeah. This man's all about going.
What other picks we got? We got a whole bunch of picks, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. There you go. Here's one we didn't show in the pre-show. A good friend of mine in the Chiefs, and he'll probably know who sent it when I show it, but we'll see how it goes. This is a helmet cam picture from our boy John Nanninga. So he's captain of 60 engine, and that's him and his crew, and they're on air. And I've seen the video. It's all
Chief's
smoky.
just standing there.
And here's Chief Mo, just like, "Hey boys, what's good?"
Yeah,
killing it.
He's conserving air.
Yeah. Save your freaking air, man.
What's that helmet he's got?
That division officer's got to get in there and see what's going on, man.
Tank, go back.
No, maybe we shouldn't show that, Coob.
Oh, maybe we shouldn't. All right.
Yeah. Why don't you keep showing? Yeah, we'll put it back up, Tank.
Yeah, Tank, bigger.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Another one, Tank. What do you got there?
We got a couple.
Let's go through them.
So
right here, man. This guy's always dirty.
We'd made a run south of us, and there was a chief wanting to go defensive on this, and the guys were working good. There's a good audio that I'll send you. And the chief's like, Mo, you think we need to go defensive? So now they got it. He goes, I don't know. I think we need to go defensive. So I think we got it. And then Captain Schroeder was working hard. And you can see the sky, so you're not going to get hurt. And so he stopped talking to me and started talking to the safety officer. So I ran downstairs, and that's me coming out telling the safety officer, you do not pull these guys out. They got it. And so no, that's what that one was. And the guy behind me is my driver.
Did they get it?
So I told him, I said, you do not let them pull us out.
You're a chief there telling I guess another chief that we got it, right? Because how many times did you in there? Like, Chief, just give us 2 more minutes. We got it.
Yeah. That's it.
Now you got
I was going to say, did they get it?
Yeah, they got it. Yeah, it worked out fine. It worked out fine. It's Schroeder, Mario was up there. I wasn't worried about nothing. I'm like, hey, these guys got this. So yeah.
Good for you. Go ahead, Gons. What do you
Yeah.
got? I mean, Tank Gons. Holy shit. A working boss. Yeah, I'd say that, bro. He steals lines. He steals saws. I say he's a working boss, bro.
Yeah. So the guys put that on my helmet for me. So I think that's pretty cool. I guess they like it.
Is that your Chief's helmet?
Yes, sir.
Holy shit, man. That's pretty smoky, right, Roof?
That's old school light there.
And he's got the old school light.
I love being a fireman, man.
All I want for Christmas is to be... Who's that old guy with the glasses?
Yeah. I was teaching a class in Florida there. I don't know. I don't even know what we were talking about, but it was.
What part of Florida are we in?
We was in Pensacola at the County Fire Tactics. He puts on a really good conference down there.
Wow, you get around, huh, fella?
I'm very
Shout
lucky.
out
I like that.
Shout out to Jillian Stewart. I may or may not have took that picture from her, but she's cool. She don't care.
Oh, that's cool, bro.
That's what she
I
takes
told
for. We were talking
he's
about
going to be out in
search and rescue.
FDIC, Ruffy.
What's that?
He's going to be out in FDIC. He said something like he's going to buy Louis some dinner or something. I don't know what he was talking about. So look at that.
As long as you don't cramp up, you know what I mean?
He ain't got no alligator arms. He's good, bro. You got more, Tank? Let me see what you got.
So
Oh,
same
boy.
conference,
Yeah.
same thing. We were talking about search and rescue.
Yeah. With the little DES.
That is a 3rd-story balcony on a hotel. So that's a 35-footer to the 3rd-story balcony. And these instructors, as a student in that class with them, let me just tell you what those guys did for us, right? We got this hotel and they were tearing it down. And I think the only things we couldn't do were break glass or break the main rooms to the main doors to the rooms. Other than that, we had free game. And these instructors took the weekend before the conference and days before, and they built out props. And so they put a window prop on the balcony. So when we came up off the ladder, we dove into this window prop and into the room, and we had smoke and everything. And we were searching. And I don't know if Mo remembers this or not, but when my group got to his group, he was up top, and then Clyde Gordon, who we'll end up talking about in this podcast later too, was on the ground, and they were telling us what the evolution was going to be, how we were going to go. And then Clyde was like, "Who's going first?" And one of the guys from my group just shot up, and Clyde looks at me. He said, "Well, Tank, I guess you better get your ass up there." I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess so." So here I go. We dump in. My team's in. We're searching, and I feel a bed. And I go to sprawl out on the bed because I just listened to Champ and his story about searching and, getting up on the bed and making sure you feel and coming up and feeling for the bunk bed. This is my first experience with doing this, my first exposure to this. And when I dove, I'm assuming we're in a hotel room. I'm assuming I'm at the foot of a queen bed. Well, I sure was on the side of a twin bed. And when I zoomed over this thing, I zoomed over the side and dumped into the bathroom. And he goes in there and he's got a thermal because it was fake smoke, but it was thick. And he's looking through the thermal. He was like, "You good?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good." He's like, "There's nobody on the bed. You're good to go, bro." Thanks, man.
Stop effing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing, man. And that's a testament to the investment that guys like Mo and Clyde and Chief Ike at County Fire Tactics and all these other great dudes are putting into making us, guys like me, better firemen, realistic training as possible and doing it right and still loving it and doing it. We still got to have a little laugh and have a little fun in that moment. And that's just a testament to what they're doing for us and to continue making the job better. And I'm blessed to be able to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on record and say Ruffy, we haven't had a guest who smiled this much from fucking beginning to end as this guy right here, bro. This guy loves the job.
Sano smiled a lot.
He did, but I don't know. I think Chief Davis is smiling a whole hell of a lot, bro.
He is. He's excited.
He is. You got any other jobs you want to share with us, Chief?
How long did he be?
Yeah, I was always so lucky, man. It's like we always made fires, And so when I first made chief, and I decided that I was going to stay on the Southwest side because I'd never been exposed to the Southwest side. First of all the guys were aces. When I got there, I'm like, man, these guys are wound tight in a good way. So one night I'm running a 211 fire on this street. Across the street from us, there's another 211 fire going on. So the shift commander gets there and he starts putting his board up. So he gets his board put in. I'm a young chief. And so I got a notepad like this, I just made a couple of notes. So the chief gets everybody goes. So he leaves and goes to the second 211 and takes his board. And so Chief App goes, "Hey man, who do we have?" And I held up my notepad and I had like 2 companies on it. The shift commander took everybody with us. And so before the night was over, we had a 211, and down the street, we had another multiple alarm going on at the same time.
Wow.
And I told those guys, I said, I'll never leave Southwest side. So I've been there ever since.
That's where we'll be, Ruffy, when we go down there in Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Doing it. All right, ready? I'm going to ask you some questions that I've asked a ton of guys, including the chief of department. You got your thinking cap on? You ready?
Yeah.
Best firehouse meal, bro.
I like steak.
Steak. All right. Best firehouse movie.
I don't know. Something with John Wayne in it, though.
John. Oh, he's going old school, bro.
Going
John
old school
Wayne.
Texas cowboy, man. Come
Yeah.
on.
Dude, I forgot. He is a cowboy, bro.
I'm a Sansa Iwo Jima guy, actually.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that about you, bro.
John Wayne. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Striker.
Boy, couldn't we use him now?
We could use a little of that.
Shit, man. We actually talked about this in the pre-show, right, bro? How we got to take back the country, back the fire department.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we definitely have to just take it back. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, what were you saying about it? Like, we have to. You think we are actually, right?
Yeah, we are. We're coming back. We're coming back. It's I don't think for 1 second we're not. Look at what we're doing. And I'm looking off to the side here. You got thousands of people listening to you. We're taking this profession back. You know, they set us back a couple of years ago, and I'm not going to mention any names because it ruffles people's feathers. But we had guys telling firemen to be nice. You don't have to tell me to be nice. I'm a nice human being because I'm a fireman. Who else goes to work? Tomorrow morning when I go to work, my chances of not coming home is better than coming home. So you don't have to tell me to be nice.
Yeah.
And then you can't tell me not to go in burning buildings and it's going to be okay. And then you can't tell me that my safety is more important than theirs. So, and everybody knows who I'm talking about without using names. We're taking it back, man. Look at your side here, man. We're taking this thing back.
Dude, we're taking it back. That's what me and Ruffy are here for. Ruffy, say it. We're taking it back.
Taking it back, baby.
Yep.
We're taking it back.
That's
what we need to do. We need to get these stories. We need to get guys like Bo Davis on here and say, we're taking this shit back. We're taking this country back. We're taking our fucking job back. That's
no more shenanigans.
Yep.
Oh,
that's right.
No shenanigans.
Get some glass. Get in the building.
Well, you know, cut some holes in the roof. Throw some cans in there. Whatever you got to do, bro.
Yeah.
Who is that? It is the best job in the world, bro.
It is.
It is. Look at this guy right here. Can you imagine doing something else for a living, bro? I can't.
No. I wouldn't even want to.
No.
I'd probably be this guy down the street here washing glass for 25 cents to go get something to drink if I didn't have a fireman's job.
All right, bro. There is no better job in the world. There is no better career. I say this all the time, bro. It is the absolute closest thing to being a living superhero. The call comes in for help. You respond. You go in, right? You put your gear on, or you put your Batman uniform on, right? You get in the fucking Batmobile. You start fucking riding through town to go help somebody in need. You are an absolute superhero, right? So that's
very few of us can do it.
99.99% of the time, you fix the problem.
That's right.
You're right. You're right.
That's why when you retire and you're sitting at the table, staring across from your kids, and like, "Hey, Dad, get me that fucking milk out of the fridge." You're like, all right. You're just like any other asshole, right, bro? The Superman is gone. Oh shit! All right, I think it might be. That time.
Did you have anything else, Chief? You wanted to talk about? Did anybody else?
So, if I could say one thing, that's something I'm passionate about. Chief D, you guys know Chief D.
Yes.
You guys lost a lot of people over the years, and we have too. Chief D, Lieutenant Yost, Jeff Cool, you guys are doing some good things for the fire service. And I would like for everybody to try to remember March and November, because, you know, the city took some ropes away from you guys and you paid a dear price for it.
Yep.
And on the Black Sunday. So if guys could just remember November and March, every year, those guys put on a phenomenal training series, and 100% of the proceeds go to help brother firemen. And, you know, they don't even, and I told Jeff Cool this, and I truly meant it when I said that. He doesn't even know how many lives he's probably saved by doing that. And so the bailout systems and stuff, they donate all the money to. So I would just like for people, just to remember that. Secondly, we got to remember that we're into this for the citizens we serve. I mean, it's cool and all that, but we've got to remember those poor people need us. And then at the last one, we got to love this job and love each other. When you were laughing earlier when I call you brother. When I call you brother, I truly mean you're my brother. Mm-hmm. And then if you're not into that and you're in the fire service, get out because we don't want you. If you're that 3 foot inside the door, 3 foot to the right, where it's safe, where you can get out, we don't want you. So get out. Don't make us have to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what I would say to the guys. And just if you're good at this job, man, it's going to be good to you. It's going to be good to you. And man, just fight fire like a wild Comanche Indian every time you make a run, and you're going to pay dividends.
Comanche Indian.
Yeah,
I think that was his old school tip, Coop.
That's great. Speaking of Yost, we got him coming on the 28th. Kevin Yost, the 28th.
Good guy.
Yeah, it's a good guy to throw rocks at. I don't know. No. All right, so listen. Now
I was told to ask you two guys, and I don't even know how I got set up with this. Were you guys on paid units? Where y'all were at?
I didn't hear what you said. Were you on what? What was that, Roof? I didn't hear it.
Do you know who set me up?
You got a cancellation for Yost, I think. That's what
No, what did he say? Are we on what?
On a paid unit.
Yeah, we're on a paid unit. Yost who? What? Kevin who?
Yeah.
Anybody available? We got the 28th open. Anybody want to come on the show? Now I think it's time, Tank. You ready?
I'm ready.
I think it's time for.
I'm actually not ready.
All right, so Tank's not ready. I'll play it again. Hold on a minute.
I think he gave his old school tip.
No, he's got another one. This guy's Smiley Mo. Smiley Mo's got fucking.
All right, I'm ready for real now.
Now it's time for the old school tip of the day.
Go to work every single day ready to make a fire.
Come on.
Have in the back of your mind that you're going to make one. And then when you do, you will be ready.
Plain and simple, bro.
Prepared.
Easy.
I like it. Louis learned that lesson the hard way when Captain Murphy gave him the fucking stink eye. Right, Roof?
All of us. Our first run is the squad.
First run is the squad.
It was 99.999. It was 100%. It was going to be a.
Yeah, and he had his fucking hood on, ready to go, and he pulled over the rig, right? He's like,
everybody out of the rig. Half the guys weren't dressed. At least I had my stuff on somewhat. But none of the guys else. And he said, you're going to respond as if there's a fire every time we go, or the worst case scenario every time we go. Like you're expecting the worst case scenario every time. And from that time on, I was always prepared. Always. There really was. I have to say that's not even like a bullshit thing. I was always ready.
Yep.
You're ready, man.
That's why you were successful, Let's look at your career. Pretty good career.
He did all right.
Mediocre.
You can't go wrong with mediocre, right? Because you're neutral then, right, guys?
Yeah. Nice.
Ruffy, you had a good career, bro. I mean, Lieutenant at 90, 103, came back to the squad. You did good, Ruff. I'm not just saying that because you're my buddy.
Because my pal, my buddy, my chum.
Yeah, Chief Davis, thanks for coming on, man. I left my ass.
Thank you, guys. This meant a lot to me, and it was a lot of fun.
You really touched a lot of chords in me tonight, bro. Like
I hope, brother. I do.
Yeah, man. And we'll see you out in FDIC when you buy us dinner. It'll be great, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Crystal Burgers it is.
We tell our wives we're going out to Nathan's every night. Meanwhile, we're going out.
It's like my wife calls. She's like, "What are you guys doing tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're going to Arby's in a little while." She's like, "You are not." I'm like, "Yeah." What do you think we do? We got to save money here.
Meanwhile, we got a Wagyu tomahawk steak about this fucking big on the plate.
I got stuffed lobsters.
Yeah.
How was the Arby's? It was a little rare. I didn't like it.
They have the meat. It was fine.
Yeah, Tank, I'll see you. When you coming up?
This Friday, actually.
I will see Tank on Saturday. He'll be staying at the house with the kids. Uncle Tank is coming. The kids are excited.
Might sleep in your driveway Friday night to
But
keep
you
from
may
coming
if
in
it's
your
too
house at
late
midnight.
because I'm home by myself.
Nice.
I could be out like a light, bro. Just in the driveway. Other than that, it's all good, man. Mo
Chief,
Davis, thank you, bro. I
Hey,
really enjoy.
Thank you, guys.
I really
Careful
enjoy it.
out there. Keep pushing.
Keep pushing for the guys.
teaching the
Keep
men,
doing a
keep
great
drilling the
job,
men.
man. Yeah. You know what?
Thank you.
Actually, before we leave, I think we actually have you teaching the probies, right, Tank?
Maybe.
Here's
Are you
what I'm
referring to
talking
the
about.
second video?
Yes, I think this is what he was teaching the young guys. This is what he used to
the
say
hell
to
is
them.
All right, hang on. I gotta share the
You got all
screen.
about it, bro. Come on.
I gotta share the screen, bro. Sorry.
All right, go ahead, do it.
It's difficult.
This is what he used to say.
Hey, Mo, what do you think I can do? I don't think I can do anything.
What'd you do? Spend all day looking for those things?
Did I was spending shit.
Hey, Mo, I don't think you could do anything. What's the matter with you?
But we'll see you in Indy, bro.
All right, brother. You guys be safe. Hey, thanks. Hey, take care, brother.
You
Chief,
too.
it was
a pleasure.
It was
Pleasure.
a pleasure.
Hey, thank you all so much.
Yeah.
Wait,
all
do you
right,
have any
guys.
last shout outs, Chief?
Yeah,
We
you
didn't
last
do that.
shout outs, brother?
Man, just be good to everybody, man. It's,
Yeah.
and
Well,
if anybody that's helped me along my career, man, I want you to know I appreciate it. And it wasn't, heartfelt that what you guys did for me. And hopefully there's some on here.
And we're coming
Go watch.
over and we'll be there March 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So you got to get us ready. As a matter of fact, you got an extra room in your house? The old lady don't mind, does she?
You're nuts.
All right, fellas. We'll see you on Monday. Until then, stay low and go.
All right, everybody. We'll see you at the big one. Again, Chief, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Chief, it was an honor and a pleasure. Appreciate you coming, everybody. See you on the fire floor. We blessed few.